Welcome to Gurukul lectures. Today we will be talking on implementation of outcome-based education, vision and mission statement. So let me start with a food for thought. If you think of vision and mission as an organization head and heart, the values it holds are its soul. So whenever we have to make the vision and mission statements, we have to keep this in mind. Now let me start with the backdrop of what outcome-based education is, how we are going to implement, how the vision and mission statements are built. Outcome-based education is a process that involves the restructuring of the curriculum, assessment, reporting practices in education to reflect the achievement of high order learning and mastery rather than accumulation of the course credits. We have discussed in the previous sessions much about in detail about what the outcome based education is all about, its characteristics, etc. Now globalization has brought a very clear shift from the education as transmission of the expert knowledge to education as building the learning competencies, including learning to learn and lifelong learning. That means the focus will be on understanding the fundamentals and learning the new skills and competencies that would enable the individuals to cope up with the demands of the rapidly changing workforce. Prepare the global engineers who will have to solve the problems and the shoulder challenges which are not even known today. So every higher education institution has to go by the process of accreditation, and under the outcome based education we have the accreditation criteria under the OBE, which is little different. We have to start building with the vision and the mission statements and the program educational objectives. Then we have to formulate the program outcomes, the program curriculum, the student performance, the faculty contributions, that is the teaching learning process, the technical facilities and the support which is going to augment the impact of student teacher learning process under the outcome based education. Then of course the academic support units and the teaching learning process, the governance, institutional support and the financial resources with a continuous improvement, because outcome based education is all about continuous improvement. That is, we have to formulate the outcome based education for outcome based accreditation, for which we have to formulate the overall objectives, curriculum, put the teaching learning framework in place and about the accreditation process. So this is how the hierarchy of the various aspects which we have discussed as of now. That is, we have to first find out the learning objectives, we have to build the vision and mission statements, followed by the program objectives, the program educational objectives, course objectives, and in respect to that, to achieve that, we have to build the curriculum, the planning delivery and the course assessment aspects. So this is how the flow of OBE framework is all about. Now let me come on the detailed aspects of how to implement the OBE implementation process, and in the coming sessions we will be talking on the each point in detail in relation to the implementation process of the outcome based education. The first and the foremost is to establish the vision and the mission statements and the program educational objectives. After mapping the mission statements with the program educational objectives, we have to define the program learning outcomes with the Bloom's taxonomy. We have to map the program educational objectives with the program learning outcomes. We have to define the course objectives, as many institutions are running with many type of courses. Then we have to define the course learning objectives, that is the course learning outcomes, with again the Bloom's taxonomy for each course. Because we have to ultimately upgrade the level of thinking levels of the students from the basic, that is the knowledge, to the highest level of thinking, that is the creativity. So this is how we have to build up in the right from the vision mission statements to the program educational objectives to the course outcomes to the program learning outcomes, with embedding the Bloom's taxonomy in each and every aspect, so that we are able to match the overall syncing of the vision mission statements with PEO and PO and CO, that is the program objectives and the course objectives. The mapping of the CLO, that is course learning outcomes, with the program learning outcomes at sustainable levels at the Bloom's taxonomy. Now basically the implementation process moves on with the mapping assessment patterns also. With the course learning outcomes of each course, we have to map the topics with the course learning outcomes. We have to define the pedagogical tools for the course outcomes delivery also. Preparing the session-wise course lesson planner is mandatory for the implementation of the outcome-based implementation process. We have to map the questions with the course learning outcomes at the Bloom's taxonomy level and the various assessment levels. We have to define the rubrics with the Bloom's taxonomy and the course learning outcomes. We have to track the student performance by proposing the proper remedial measures. The measures the student performance against the course learning outcomes, the threshold course wise. Then we have to measure the student performance again with the program learning outcomes thresholds semester wise. Measuring the attainment of each program learning outcomes through the direct / indirect assessments, because there are two ways of assessing the student, either through direct assessment or through indirect assessment. But definitely whatever we do, whatever we frame, whether it is a vision mission statement or program educational objectives or the program learning outcomes or the course learning outcomes, we have to embed the Bloom's learning taxonomy at each level of implementation process, because it is the only solution globally and it is the language of the global education of today. Then we have to compare the program learning outcomes for the last 3 academic years and propose the remedial actions. For example, after the assessment you come to know that the performance is not up to the mark, then of course you have to adhere to some remedial measures so as to upgrade the level of standards of the students again. We have to assess the attainment of program educational objectives, which is a very important parameter of the implementation of the Bloom's taxonomy under the OBE implementation process. Now coming on to the focal point of today's lecture. It is on the role of vision and mission statements. Basically, I will be talking on what role the vision and mission statement plays in any organization for that matter. If it is an educational institute or it is a corporate, the vision mission statements are primarily the main focus or the window by which the outsiders peep into your company. The mission and the vision statements play basically 3 critical roles. 1. Communicate the purpose of the organization to the various stakeholders. So basically, when the vision and the mission statements are exhibited on the website of any corporate, be it a higher education institute or any kind of a corporate or any organization for that matter, when you have the vision and mission statement in place, it definitely directs you and motivates to think you or drive you towards the basic purpose or to the various stakeholders who are associated with the organization. So it communicates the purpose of the organization to the stakeholders. Then it informs the strategy development, that is what strategies are in place to have achievement of those mission and vision statements. Then you have to develop the measurable goals and the objectives by which to gauge the success of the organizational strategy. So one thing has to be kept in mind under the implementation process of OBE framework, that whatever goals are there in your mind or are there in place or some objectives are there in place, they should be crisp, they should be measurable. Only then the strategies would help us in assessing and gauging wherever you stand. So basically the mission and the vision statement communicates the purpose of your existence to the various stakeholders. It informs about the strategy development techniques which are in place to adopt and to follow your vision and mission statements, and of course to develop the measurable goals and the objectives by which you are able to gauge the success path of the organizational strategy. Otherwise, you will be in question mark whether the purpose for which you have been established, whether the objectives have been achieved or not. So we can say in short, vision and mission statements, they help in defining the aspirations and to remain focused. It should be written in a very simple language which is understandable and which is very crystal clear and should be able to communicate and should define the objectives with the present near future of the institute. The vision statement is a dream of where one wants to go and wherever you inspire all your stakeholders to be. And on the contrary, the mission statements are the actionable statements that guide the stakeholders to act. So basically we can say a mission statement should answer the basic questions. What do we want to become? That is, when you talk about the vision statement, it is having a futuristic vision and futuristic perspective in mind. And what do you want to become? The vision statement should be short, preferably one sentence and as many managers as possible, and should have the input into developing the statement. The vision statement should reveal the type of business the firm is engaged into. This is written from the corporate point of view. When it is a higher education institute, whenever the vision statements are written, you have to involve n number of representatives so that the vision statements which are finally there have the representation of everyone's perspective, everyone's thought process and everyone's point of view. The vision statement should reveal which type of the business or which type of organization is there. So we can always say that when you talk about the vision and the mission statement, the mission statement states who are we when we value, whereas the mission statement states what we want to become, and the strategy is all about the techniques which you follow, and the goals and objectives are how we gauge the overall success or the degree of the success. So basically when you talk about the vision and the mission statements, it should be communicated to each and every stakeholder of the organization. Now coming on to the depth of the mission statements. Now, as I have already addressed, mission statement is a declaration of an organization's reason for being. It answers the pivotal questions of what is our business. It is essential for effective establishing objectives and formulating strategies. So what is the purpose of the mission statement? It gives a particular reason for which the overall existence of the organization is there. So the declaration of the reason and the answers of what our business is all about, why are we existing, and definitely it is very essential to effectively establish the objectives and formulate the respective strategies to achieve it. It reveals what an organization wants to be and whom it wants to serve. So the mission, that is the purpose of its existence, is very clear if you just read out the mission statements of any organization for that matter. It is also called as a creed statement, a statement of purpose, a statement of philosophy, a statement of belief, and a statement of business principle. So let me now tell you what considerations and how we have to write the vision and the mission statement. So let me give you a brief snapshot of writing purposes of the both. So when it comes to the mission statement, a mission statement basically has the description about why a particular organization is in existence in this world and what it does and what it is for. So it gives you a statement of purpose for which it is existing. Whereas if you see the vision statement, it describes the ideal future state of the organization and it beautifully articulates what the organization is trying to accomplish. So if you see the difference between the two as I have addressed, the mission statement is all about what are you today, why are you existing, what is the purpose of your existence. So it is having a present perspective. Whereas if you, on the contrary, if you see the vision statement, it talks about the futuristic point of view, that where from 5 years from now or 10 years from now or 3 years from now, where you want to see the organization. So it is having the articulation of the organizational, future, that is what it is trying to accomplish in the coming years from now. So this is the basic difference between a mission statement and a vision statement. Now basically when you talk about the mission statements, it answers the questions of what do we do, what makes us different, whereas on the contrary, the mission statement is the vision statement is all about where do we aim to be, that is the futuristic pattern, the futuristic ladder which we want to climb. And if you talk about the time, the mission statement talks about the present leading to its future, whereas the statements, if you talk about the vision, it talks about your future only. Now let us talk about the change perspective, and in that respect I will differentiate between the vision statement and the vision statements. Now when you keep the perspective of change in mind, your mission statements may change, but it should still tie back to your core value visions. That means if there is any deviation with the purpose of your existence, but you should not leave your core value system or the shared value system which has been risen from the value system of everyone or all the stakeholders who participated in articulating, in formulating, in building your vision statement. Now let us talk about the change perspective from the vision statements. Now as your organization evolves, you might feel tempted to change your vision. However, the mission or the vision statement explains your organization's foundation. So the change should be kept to a minimum level. It's not that. When you talk about the change perspective, it's not at all that, because we are living in a dynamic world, we are living in a changing world, we are changing in a contingent world. So you never know what changes are in place, owing to which you might have to change your mission and vision statement. But one thing has to be kept in mind: never lose your roots, never lose your core value system. So whatever changes have to be built up, it has to be completely tied upon your core value system, otherwise the existence of your organization will be under the question mark. Now developing a statement about the vision and the mission statement is my next perspective. What do we do today? For whom do we do it today? What is the benefit? In other words, what we do, for what, for whom we do, and why do we do? These are all the perspectives and all the questions pertaining to the mission statements, because as I have already addressed, it has a present perspective in mind. Whereas if you talk about developing a statement of the vision statement is concerned, where do we want to be going forward? Which road we are going to catch? When do we want to reach there? How do we want to reach there? These are all the questions which will be addressed under our vision statement. So whenever and whatever statements you incorporate in your vision and mission statement, that is a statement of existence or the purpose and the statement relating to your futuristic point of view, you have to be very clear about all these parameters and aspects. Now coming on to the features of an effective statement: the purpose and the value of the organization. Who are the organization primary stakeholders? What are the responsibilities of the organization towards the stakeholders? Then about the vision statement, the clarity and the lack of ambiguity, that is describing a bright future or the hope, the memorable and engaging expressions, the realistic aspirations, achievable, alignment with the organizational value and culture. So let me explain this concept of the statement of effective aspects as well as the vision and the mission statements is concerned. Whenever you talk about the mission statement, the purpose should be very crystal clear. What value system is being held by the organization should be reflective as far as the mission statements are concerned. That is, what are the responsibilities of the organization towards the stakeholders. So they are in perspective of the mission statements. Now let us move on to the vision aspects. So when you have to make an effective statement of the vision, that is the futuristic point of view wherever you want to reach, number one, it should be free of all ambiguities. No confusion, no dubious words, no double meaning words. It should be very clear words. So whenever you're writing the mission statements, the vision statements, it should be very, very clear. The statement, the selection of words, the describing about the future, the hope which you're building in, and of course, the expression which you are using in your vision statement should be engaging, and you should not be putting any kind of unrealistic aspirations of the organization which you cannot achieve. And of course, whatever you are writing as far as the vision statement is concerned, it should be aligned and overall incorporating the organizational values as well as the organizational culture. It should not move on or in contrary to the vision and the mission aspects and the value system which the organization is holding. Now the mission and the vision statement, as I have explained earlier, they both relate to the organization aim, organization purpose, organization overall perspective, and it is definitely communicated in some written form. When you see so many examples of the modern day contemporary organizations of today, then if you see the websites and you visit the overall documentation part of the corporates, the first thing which you see is the mission and the vision statements, that what they are and what they want to become. So what they are is explained under the mission aspects, and what they want to become is explained under the vision aspect. Both these statements, they give you the answer of who we are, what do we value, and where we are going. So that means there are three aspects which are combined into one, that is the vision, mission, and the value statements. So they all have to be synced with each other. One should not be moving, lopsided or just talking about present and not looking about the future and the value system. So they have to be nicely synced with one another. Now, of course, whenever you're writing the vision and the mission statements, it should be exciting and it should have a flavor of inspirational aspects into it. Unless and until you have some flavors of inspiration or excitement into the vision and mission statement, you won't be able to motivate the workforce. So, if it is exciting, if it is inspirational, there is one aspect that you will be able to motivate your workforce and arouse a strong sense of organizational purpose, and it also induces the employee buy-in and it galvanizes the people to live in the organization because they feel proud that they are a part of that organization who has such good vision and the mission statements. So let me give you an example of any kind of a mission statement of, say, a school. Our mission is to develop a young man with active and creative minds, a sense of understanding and compassion for others, and the courage to act on their beliefs. And we stress the total development of each child spiritually, morally, intellectually, socially, emotionally, and physically. So just see the mission statement. It is so inclusive, it is so beautifully written that they have incorporated about the purpose of their establishment. So this particular school is articulating its mission statement with comprehensive words and with a very clear mission or the purpose of their existence. That is, they want a holistic development of every child, and it has taken into consideration the various spectrums of the areas under which the child is going to develop. Be it you talk about the spirituality, the morality, intellectual, social aspects, emotional aspect, and of course the physical aspect. So let us have another example which will make the concepts more clear to you. So a community school recognizes that each child is an individual, that all the children are creative, that all children need to succeed. Therefore, the community school represents the individual needs of the children, fostering a caring and creative environment, and emphasizes the social, emotional, physical, intellectual development of each child. So, in both the examples, we have seen that such beautiful inclusive statements are there in place, which clearly defines the purpose of existence of that particular school. So, this is how we have to write our mission statements. Now, let us move on to the vision statements. What a good vision statement should be. So, let us have some characteristic aspects of the vision statements. There are few common rules that pretty much every good vision statements will follow. They should be short, 2 sentences at an absolute maximum. It's fine to expand on your vision statement with a more detail, but you need a version that is very punchy and that is easily memorable. So, these are the features of a good vision statement. Number 1, it should be small, not more than 2 sentences. It should be catchy, it should be punchy, it should be memorable. If you want to expand, then expand with the punchy and easy lines which is easy to remember.